Hello, thank you for watching Women in Power. Today I'm so excited to be here with Lisa Morales, who has 8 million followers on the social medias. So it is quite safe to assume that she is an authentic, bona fide social media influencer, and that is part of what I want to discuss with you today, because I want to know, like me, I have 114,000 followers on Instagram. How do I go about trying to increase that number and get a following? Like how did it happen for you? Are you paying for ads? Or you just walk me through the process?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're doing pretty good. You seem to post, you seem to be very active, which is so important to be on social media. And I've been on the social media wagon since the beginning, since it first was created. I remember.
So it doesn't happen overnight?
Oh, absolutely not. I remember at the time I had my own TV show on Telemundo, so I already had a TV presence. But no online presence, because at the time there was no such thing as social media. And Instagram was just a filter app, and you would just use it for filters. And then all of a sudden people started following each other, and I'm like, this is so weird. I guess we follow each other, and so then it just went from like 50,000 followers to 100,000 followers to 200.
Oh, so you started following people?
No, I mean, people started following me. And I think it's mainly in the beginning, people that watched me on Telemundo on Saturdays that kind of like, let me search for Lisa Morales and see if she's on here. And they would find me on social media and they would just start following me. But what I love about it is that when you're on TV for 1 hour. Probably, I was on TV probably 2 hours per week. Now they can watch me and see my content every single day as many times as I want them to see.
So you love the social media because of that aspect. You can control your content.
Exactly.
You can reach more eyeballs potentially.
Exactly.
But yet the TV did help feed you those
in the
beginning.
Absolutely. And then I think I just knew that it was going to be big. I just knew social media was going to be it, and it was here to stay. So I jumped on the wagon very early on, and I just created a lot of content. At the time, I was shooting for Telemundo, and we had a lot of fun doing the show, so I had a lot of content to create. And I was
what did
posting,
you do? You did tell me.
Yeah, so I would just post a lot of behind the scenes pictures and like a lot of fun videos. I hosted several shows. I also worked with Maxim, so I did a lot of red carpet events and promoted them through my social media. So it just grew, but I think I was just very consistent, and I think that's my number one tip, just to be consistent.
Yep. Like, what does that look like? Consistent posting once a day on Instagram?
Whatever works for you.
What worked for you?
For me, I post either minimum once a day or every other day. Yeah, but in the beginning, I was posting twice a day.
Okay.
Yeah, like twice a day.
But did you think that was important? Twice a day?
Absolutely.
But when I find that I post only once a day, I get more likes on the picture.
On that post.
Right. If I post twice a day, I get less and less. But you're saying that doesn't matter, just put out the content.
Right, because I think that social media has changed so much. Before, it was a lot easier. I think it's just becoming a little harder to reach a new audience and to reach new followers. So you got to work twice as hard, I think. So
because some people are afraid that they're putting too much out there, or people are going to get sick of looking at them.
Yeah.
But you're saying ignore all those thoughts and concerns. You really have to break through a barrier of all the commotion that you're competing for to just keep hammering in there.
Right. And one thing, quality versus quantity. I do think that the quality of the content, because you can post 3 times a day, and if it's like shitty, can I say shitty content? If it's shitty content, no one's going to like it, no one's going to comment, engage with your post. So if you have to just post one a day, make sure that it's a good quality content. And like you said,
let's pretend like we're talking to me, who doesn't really know. What do you mean by quality content? Like, let's say I'm just Susie Homemaker, but I have this idea. I want to do cupcakes out of my garage or whatever, and I want to get known and get followers, and maybe turn this into the next Mrs. B's or Beasley's or Cookie, whatever those places are called. So what is good what is the quality?
The quality. The quality is, I think in social media, people are looking to either get inspired, get motivated, or learn something.
Okay, get inspired.
Some people just want entertainment. So it's a little bit of everything. Depends who your audience is. Because if you have an audience who just want to be entertained, you post something funny and you're entertained. They're on their break checking their social media and they just want to see something funny. They don't want to learn anything. They don't care about anything.
I find that sometimes those posts get
they
the
do
most
the most
likes. And I'm like, I was doing nothing. I was being ridiculous. And I'll get 100,000.
Exactly.
And then the ones where I try to be educational will get 10,000. I'm like,
know your audience, I would say. Like, see what posts are
getting. Or
do
it all and just kind of play around.
Feel it out and say, hey, what are people, and ask. I know now there's an option to ask on Insta Story, ask me questions. Ask like, hey, what do you guys want to see? Should I post more recipes? Should I post more videos? Should I post more photos of my family?
Did you do that? Did you ask the questions?
Absolutely, yeah.
See, I don't even know how to use that yet.
I'll show you.
Okay, we'll show you.
It's really easy. Just type in like, ask me a question, and people can actually send you a question through Insta Story. So there's a lot of things that social media has that you can work with that definitely would create a lot more engagement and bring you new followers.
So how much time a day, because that's the next question, everyone says, I don't have time for that. So how much time?
There's an app for that.
What? Is there?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
You didn't know there's an app that can schedule your posting?
No.
What? Is this like top secret stuff that I'm sharing over here?
This is what we all want. And I look at you and so many of my friends that have millions of followers, and I go, what is the secret? Like, doing? I don't know. You know, and I'm not in the office every day.
We're friends now, so you know a lot of my tips.
We need them, you know. So I appreciate you sharing. Yeah. So what is the app that I should be following?
There's a ton of apps.
So it'll do it for Facebook, it'll do it for Twitter, it'll do it for Instagram?
Probably, yeah.
Or what do you use it for?
There's an app that basically, you go on the app, you post the content that you want to, let's say like tomorrow, at 1 o'clock, I want to post this video or this picture.
Okay, pause. So let's say I want to do that. Do you have the, what's it called? The statistics on when to post your things and what does the best? How do you do that?
If your page has like an insights, some people don't have insights.
I do.
You have to have insights.
I
think it's over 10,000 that
you
get your insights.
Okay.
So if you have a following of more than 10,000 followers, you already get like an insight. So absolutely. Sundays are my best days. I would not skip a Sunday because I know Sundays is when my followers are engaged and on social media.
Wow.
So Mondays are not great days for me.
Me either.
Yeah, see, it's weird. I feel like as everybody goes back to work and just you know, everybody's like on point trying to like catch up
themselves.
With, So like Mondays, I hardly would, if I have to, I would post. But I honestly even tell my clients, like, listen, don't tell me to post on Mondays because you're not going to get the same results. You're not going to get the same engagement. You're not going to get the same anything, same benefit. So again, Sundays are my best days, but that might not be the case for someone else because we all have different people that follow you from different places, demographic, everything. So find out what your best days are. Obviously post on those days and avoid posting on the days that don't work for you.
Okay, and so now the app, what's it called? So is it easy to figure out? Like someone like me who's computer kind of illiterate can figure it out?
Yeah. There's actually so many apps that can do that. So if you type in, if you Google right now, an app to schedule posting on social media, those like a list of apps. So just kind of go to whatever like the highest rating
ratings,
and then the most popular ones. And I know some charge like a monthly or yearly.
And would you recommend those over the free ones?
There's some, because I know there's one that's called I think UMUM. I think, and that's the one that I use most of the time, and I know it's not free. So, but it works great. But then some can be complicated.
No, but I mean, you have 2.4 million followers on Instagram.
Just on Instagram,
I'm likely to take your word for it, you know. So
yeah, and it does the posting for you. You basically even type in the caption, and you type in the post. You set it up. Put the schedule, like when you want it to be posted, and then
does it target an audience, or does it just go to your followers?
I think it just goes to your audience, your
following feed. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, and I think that's the way that a lot of like these fashion bloggers and successful people and people that post 5-10 times a day can schedule it. I think because it's really hard, like you said, it's very time consuming. Very time consuming. And another thing that I do a lot is create a lot of content in one day, which a lot of people don't realize that people do that. So
and then you stretch it out. So do you have a team of people? Like here I'm in the office and these guys are so great because when we do the show, they'll cut the video for me. But do you do that yourself, or do you say you have to outsource that if you can't do it yourself?
I pretty much do everything myself when it comes to, I'm like the talent, the director, the producer, the editing, everything on myself.
So this is kind of your job.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, full-time job. It's been my full-time job for over a decade. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I do have.
Do you write your own articles?
I do write them, and then I have somebody who kind of
spruces them up.
Yeah. So I do have a team. I have somebody who does my web stuff, because obviously I'm not a web designer. No. I'm not a web tech.
No, I know.
But if it's something, I kind of like having control of my content, and like I like having control.
These guys can tell you. I nitpick. I'm like, this has to change that. Whereas Grant is a little bit. I don't want to speak for him because I could be wrong, but I noticed that he's just about getting stuff out. And I'm way more like you. I want quality.
Yeah.
And he's just like quantity. He just pushes it out.
Yeah.
And he doesn't matter because he doesn't think everyone kind of nitpicks as much as I probably think they do. So it could be a little bit of a setback for me that I have that. So part of me tries to let a little bit of it go, but still maintain where I have to have a certain standard of quality.
I'm with you 100%. When I work with companies, I make sure that whatever content is being released, I am approving, which is a huge major thing, because it can destroy your brand, it can destroy your image, and when you've built such a big audience, you can't afford to do that.
Right.
So I don't care who you are, like there has to be a contract, and you and I have to agree. I'm just recently going to collaborate with Ledge Lounger. They're a huge high-end, basically they sell furniture, like patio furniture, but like for like resorts.
Oh, I need new.
Oh my
I'm writing it down. What's it called?
Ledge Lounger.
Ledge Lounger.
And they have these like
I'm looking
day
for new
beds.
furniture.
Oh yeah, because we just moved to a new house, so like we have nothing. So they basically are collaborating with me.
So how do they find you? From your Instagram following?
Website. I mean,
over 8 million followers. People tend to just know who you are.
In the beginning, I was out there looking for these people too, though. Like I feel like people want to sit back and, okay, we'll wait until they come to me, but I didn't have that mindset and attitude in the beginning. Absolutely
Tell me about
not.
that. How did you go to people?
Networking, emailing, direct.
So like you would email a random person and say,
and send my media kit.
And what do you say?
Hey guys, I would love to work with you on whatever collaboration. If I had an idea already of what I wanted to do with them, I pitched the idea like, hey, I have a cool concept that I want to do with you guys.
And so you'd say, I want to promote this, blah, 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 get in touch with me. And then they get in touch with you and then you say, this is what I charge. And how do you make up what you charge? Based on what you bring in, or is it a made up number?
A little bit of everything. It's definitely not like it kind of is a made-up number, I guess you would say.
Yeah, everything's a made-up number.
That's since we're being honest. And it also depends on I always look at, okay, what's the brand? If we're talking to American Express here, or are we talking to some local company from Miami that wants to hire me to do, so...
Yeah, so different...
Yeah. I mean, American Express has a huge budget, and then these people are like, oh, our budget is like this tiny, can you please?
And if you really like them, then you're going to do it, right?
You compromise.
Right.
If at the end of the day, it's something you're going to benefit from, or that you're going to help others, or whatever it is. But I've worked with Sephora recently, American Express twice already for Art Basel. I know, girl. Like, this has been crazy. And the Not.com, like, we did a collaboration through my whole wedding, because I got married in Barcelona, so it's like a big, beautiful destination wedding. I know. I know you're from Spain, so I'm like...
Well, from Madrid, but I don't remember it. I left when I was 1, but I went back to Barcelona recently and fell in love with
favorite
Spain.
city.
And then I went to Marbella.
Okay.
And loved it there. Anyway, so that's great.
So then I just reach out, and some of them, I guess Sephora reached out to me, American Express reached out to me, but then if I want to personally work with this company, of course, like LinkedIn, it's like the best way to reach out to people. I spoke to the CEO of Ashley Furniture, and I'm like,
hey. We know him.
I was like, hey, do you guys want to provide some furniture for my house?
And they said yes.
Well, yes, but it then ended up working out.
Okay.
But I'm working with Clive Daniel, which is a very high-end local furniture store in Boca. So, and they're closed, they're in the local. So again, it's just...
Do you do all the negotiating yourself, or do you have an agent?
I do.
How did you learn how to negotiate? Is it just always been in you? You've just always been entrepreneurial and knew how to do that. See, that is my weakness. Grant is so good at that, and I'll just give everything away or charge nothing, and here it is for free. Like,
well, then you guys are perfect together.
We're perfect together. But I want to be more. So I'm glad you're here, because sometimes this is unfortunate, but sometimes you can learn easier from somebody who's relatively like a stranger than even your own husband or your mother or your father or whatever, because whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely, I agree with you. And I think that you just have to kind of like, number one, know your worth and your value. You're very valuable no matter what. Like, and when I've worked so hard to build a brand that I have for so many years. Then I just can't do things for free. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
Right.
Like, you know, you have to pay for it.
Right.
And
I know. My entrepreneur friends tell me this.
Yeah, and a lot of companies, to be honest with you, don't expect it for free, because nowadays these social media influencers are charging the ones that have millions and millions of followers are charging minimum $20,000 per post. So you look at that.
They don't even leave up. They'll take it down in 24 hours.
In 24 hours.
Or 12 hours.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. But you know, you kind of have to see, okay, what are people doing? How much are these people making? Like, what are the collaborations that they have with what brands? Who's paying? Like, a lot of companies now are, most of their marketing budget, it's for social media, because they understand how important it is to work with influencers and how,
that's right,
you know, how valuable we are. And so when Sephora's like, can you come to our grand opening store in Miami on Lincoln Road and cut the ribbon? I'm like, and you're gonna pay me to do that? Okay.
You're like, I'm there.
Yeah, and this just happened like 3 months ago.
Amazing.
So it's like, I can't believe like the opportunities that I've received because of social media.
And this is because of this decade, you're saying now, of work you've put in. Did you ever pay a company that, what do? What was I told they do? They'll promote your post either with other power groups or on a site, like you said, like maybe yours, where they pay to promote, or has anyone ever like that? Have you paid a company that's helped and you've actually seen it monetized?
Yeah.
Does that work?
I've never done it. At the time, there was no such thing, like when I first started. That's kind of new. Like, it's been around maybe a couple of years that now these agencies are creating the social media
and they're getting a lot of money
for it. Oh, absolutely. I feel like I should have my own social media.
Well, are you thinking about doing that?
I am.
Okay.
I am thinking about it. So it's in the works for 2019.
Okay.
And I think, honestly, like, if you don't want to put in the effort and you don't have the time to focus on it, social media is so important that, go pay somebody to do it for you. Who cares? But get it done.
That's true. Like, that's true.
That's if you don't care about it and you don't know about it. And
I don't really know about how to go about it, but I am now starting to really get serious about it. That's why I'm redoing this show. I've got this book coming out that's about to go to print. I have the audio version that's already out. So now I need to learn how to build out the audience and really put in the time behind the scenes to do all of that stuff.
But honestly, if I look at your page, you're doing really well. You're active on the page. You're putting a lot more videos recently that are fun to watch. And like you said, they're entertaining. And
they surprise me. Those are the ones that do well. And I'm thinking,
exactly. And just ask your audience. You know?
I have that down.
We'll do a little test of, how to ask the question and ask, like, what do you guys want me to post, And they'll tell you, trust me. Like, post more workout videos, or post more booty workout videos, or post more abs. How do I get your abs? How did you guys meet? I had a girl that got married like last week in the church. I got married in Barcelona. I know. I was like,
she did it just because of you?
Yes, she did. She just a regular follower on social media, and she emailed me and she goes, "I want to get married at the church that you got married. I want my wedding planner to be your wedding planner.
No.
I want like my whole wedding like yours." And I'm like, okay.
Oh, I have that question. What would you tell people who want to be just like you?
I feel like with me, like I've been on my own and I've been independent my entire life since I was literally 15 years old. I moved out of my mom's house when I was a teenager and like got like a little efficiency and had a full-time job and was going to school. And I think that if that's you, because you have to have that drive, you have to have that work ethic, you have to have that hustle, because if you're not a hustle, there's no way you're not going to have the consistency,
was what you said. And it doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen
overnight. And you
overnight.
have to be active. And if you don't have that, you're not going to do it. You'll stop in a week.
And work ethic, it's the most important thing, because I remember when I quit my job, I was working a retail manager when I was 19 for a retail shoe store in Miami. And I quit my job, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pursue my dreams, because what I want to do is be on TV. I want to model. I want to do all the fun things. And I want that to pay my bills. And I don't want to worry about anything else and being in a little store every weekend, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I did. I left and I never went back. And to this day, I've been able to make a living doing what I love. And like my friends are like, I can't believe you actually made it. Like you actually do what you love and make money doing it, and you've traveled and you've had all these experiences.
The opportunities. And how does your husband feel? I mean, obviously he knew you were doing this when you got together. You've only been married for a year. Yeah,
we've been together for 5, but I was already Max and Hometown Hottie and already done all these crazy things. And he's in the fitness, he's in the sports nutrition industry, so he's used to seeing fitness models. And
so he's okay with you traveling and doing all, so that's
absolutely,
good.
Yeah, like he gets it, he understands. And I think it's so important to have somebody who understands your job, because I don't want to come home and then have to explain to you I have to go to LA, babe. For 2 days.
And
I have to
like,
host
what?
this.
And they get jealous, and no, that's never going to work.
Thank God. Like I got lucky, because I know it's very rare to find someone who's supportive and hey babe, do you like go make your money, go do what makes you happy. And so he's very supportive, and he's a very smart guy, and also good at like just ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, he helps me. Like babe, I think you should post a video doing this or do that. So he's very creative, because that's kind of like what he does for the company he works for. And it's great to have his support. And now I just recently introduced him to my social media, so now it's like everybody's like, "Where's Jason?" Like I have people at Driven asking me for Jason.
That is so funny.
I'm
like, wait, what?
Hello. I guess there's now 2 of us. Before it was just Lisa Morales, and now it's like Jason and Lisa. And
it's an adjustment, right?
It's an adjustment.
It was an adjustment for me in the beginning of the marriage. Well, y'all have been married a year now. Let me ask this question: have you found yourself more powerful together in a relationship, and what have you discovered about marriage that you didn't know about yourself before? Yeah,
I absolutely, like, we have accomplished so much, and the time that we've been together, and to this day I'm like, how do we just do all that? Like, we woke up one day, we're like, let's just not get married here, that's boring. And we're like, okay,
like in Barcelona,
where do we want to get married? I'm like, I don't know, and I thought Barcelona, because I'm like, it's just so beautiful. And we made it happen. Yeah. We flew in my mom, his mom, my family. Like, we're going to take care of all you guys. Because I felt bad. Like, my mom's never been to Europe. She's a single mom with 3 kids. Like, and so we made that happen. And then we were in Barcelona for an entire week with all of our friends and families. And that was like a dream come true that we got married there. Then we come back and we're like, let's just buy a house. And literally the next month we buy a house. We build a house from the ground up in Boca. And you
didn't murder each other.
No,
and you're still
it was
married.
fun.
This
it was
a
lot of fun.
We
built it from the ground up, and we basically picked the home design, everything together. And it's just this whole year, it's been like the first year of marriage has been like so many like big, how do you say, like just big
creations and milestones.
Yeah, exactly. That I'm like, okay, let's take a break with the babies, because
my
friends are my mom is like,
they're ready.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, relax.
We can wait.
We can wait. So because so much has happened, and we've done so much, and we've traveled so much in the 5 years we've been together, that it's just been so much better, like, together. Like, I'm just so happy that I met him. And
so you met someone who actually like lifts you up and makes you a better version of yourself. That is rare.
I love that, a better version of yourself. Absolutely. Yeah. It is rare, and I feel like I'm all about energy, and I just knew he was a good guy. Like, I just knew it. And he comes from really good values, like family values, and I think that's really important in anyone. And he was raised by his grandparents, and to me that was already good checklist.
Grandparents are good.
Because
who doesn't love grandparents? Like, everybody loves grandparents.
If you're raised by your grandparents, you're most likely a good kid. Because they're like strict and like, and he didn't grow up in Miami, which it's hard in Miami. Like, I'm from here, so I've seen what It's hard to find good men in Miami.
I think women can say that pretty much anywhere, don't you? But not in a negative way. I think it's because if you have that idea, then that's what you find.
That's true.
You find not good men.
That's true. That is true. And so then when I met him, I'm like, this is it. I just knew it was going to be him, and he was going to be my husband. And like you said, it's just he makes me a better person, and he pushes me even more than I could. Sometimes I'm like, wow, like, you're great. Back off. And so he's, again, like, very supportive, and that's so important in the business that I'm in and social media, because he deals with a lot of crazy things on social media too. Like people making fake pages of I know. I'm sure you probably have a ton of those. And
the fake pages,
and
then they try to ask people for Bitcoin and whatnot. And then all the sites, like Grant has sites where they steal his picture and mine and the kids, and he's on all these dating websites. But the story is, and when I first heard this story, I was completely shocked and devastated, and now it's almost laughable. That's how much it's happened to where I could get to this point. But they have me dead. I died of a car accident or cancer or this.
You're gone.
I'm gone. Sometimes the kids are gone too. But he's a widower with 2 kids, and we should ask Sherry, our COO here. She shuts down. I think it's like 100 every. I don't know.
No way.
Every 10 days, we shut down 100 accounts like that. So yeah, I know. So I know what that is like. But
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
The fake accounts. Yeah, like it's
and they're
just
scamming people. That's what they're doing.
People. And then
it's
people
so
think they're really talking to Grant.
Yeah.
So then I get all the people like, your husband is, and I'm like, I know. I'll report it. It's not really him.
Exactly.
You know?
And the same thing has happened to me. Like a lot of men are like, oh, your husband died. The same story. Like your husband's dead, and you've asked me for money, and I'm like, you're not speaking to me, honey.
No.
Like I have a verified page, and this is my only page.
Right. And then I've had the person who said they were going to sue me because they gave money. I'm like, look, you can take that up with Instagram because I didn't do that. Wasn't me. And I never took your money, and I would know, you know what I'm saying?
So crazy. It's so sad. People are so desperate.
And I'm like, and then you don't know if that's the scam or they were really scammed. Right. I'm like, whatever it is, you're blocked and deleted. You know, I'm like, forget block and delete.
I do a lot of the block too. Me too. When I have to. Yeah, it's just honestly, and that's another tip that I would say: don't entertain negative comments. I don't entertain.
I don't antagonize. I don't reply. They either get blocked. They either get blocked or. If it's not so offensive that it's not like really heinous, I just keep it up there, and then my people attack them, and I'm like, you see,
your team comes back and supports,
and I love that.
That's true. I've seen that happen too.
Let me ask you this: where you are right now in your life, you seem like you have everything. You have the career, you have the husband, you've got this new house, you've done the vacations, you make things come to fruition, so you look like you have it all, and I'm sure you do. But what is the one thing that you struggle with that you're like, gosh, I need to work on this for myself? Like, just so people out there realize that we're all human and we all go through things. Is there something that you're like, you know what, right now I wish I was more like this, or I'm working more on this, fitness, or that? What is it? I don't know.
I think
or are you in a good motion place right now?
Where
you just feel like you're in your zone.
Yeah, I've always been like a very optimistic and positive person. I don't really like to think of myself as like, of course I'm human, and there's a lot of things I need to work on, and my marriage is not perfect, even though we love each other. Right. It's our first year of marriage. Oh. And even though like we didn't have any like crazy fights or anything like that about the house, but it's the moving and it's stressful. Exactly. So don't get me wrong, all of that happened, but I don't tend to let remember those things, because it's at the end of the day, it's happening at the moment, and I think that if you start like thinking about it and being resentment against then it can create some type of like anxiety or stress or whatever. So
and it can hurt the marriage long term.
Exactly.
We do that same thing. I try to ignore the losses and make firm the wins. Yep. And I just try to keep that going along for myself too.
Yeah. And other than that, I mean, I'm in a good place with what I'm doing with social media. I'm in a good place with my career, even though like soon I'll be having kids, which for social media it's great, because I feel like a lot of women that follow me, they kind of already like know my story and know about me, and they're ready looking forward to like, hey, we're Lisa, we want to see what she looks like when she's pregnant, or like what tips she's going to give us when she's pregnant,
and how does she get back, and what did she eat and cook. And
so I'm glad I transitioned from like the TV model brand to just more of a social media influencer brand, lifestyle, healthy marriage, because that could last for a long time. And as you know, you're a model too, like you have a certain limit. I'm in my 30s already, so like, okay, it's done. Right. So, but I love that social media allows you, like you said, to just, have fun with it and post whatever you want, and in just daily, like a daily diary of your life and what you're doing. And I love inspiring everybody. Like, it's like really motivates me. honestly. Like just
Me
seeing
too.
people like
I just said
working
this.
out, and it's just really
And
motivates
they've changed
me.
because of you. Don't
That's
you
what
become a better
makes-
person because of them?
100%.
Me too. They hold me accountable. When people write to me and say, this is the success, it's like no amount of money, even though we love money and I love money, but no amount of money can make me feel that way when somebody wins because of something that I did. And then when you are tempted to have that fight with the husband or a girlfriend or a business partner or whatever, you think to yourself, you know what? If other people saw me doing this, which is contrary to what I say to do, it wouldn't make me feel good. And then you have to handle the situation better, more dignified, in a classier way, whatever.
Exactly.
You know, or confront it and talk about it to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I'm in a really good place, and then we're doing a lot of things with my nonprofit, which is Miami Model Citizens. And I want to say a little bit about that because I first started that to kind of break the stereotype of pretty women in Miami, because, you know, living here and being raised here, people judge me when they first meet me, and they're like, oh, you're actually really cool, and like you're so laid back and so like chill, and I'm like, what were you expecting? Like, because of my looks, like, or you're actually super outgoing and you're humble and you're this, and you know, I can feel like you have this energy and blah blah blah, you like helping people, and I'm like,
isn't everybody that way? Yeah.
So it kind of bothered me. Like I went through that so much, especially modeling and being on TV, that I'm like, no, that's not right. Like, don't judge just because of how I look. So I decided to get a group of women, and they're all beautiful inside and out. Like they're just like gorgeous women, right? But they all have like successful careers and like very smart girls, very outgoing, no divas. Like, let's just help. Right. What can we do, right?
Yes.
So every month we volunteer in Miami, and we go to the rescue mission, we feed the homeless, we go to the animal shelters, and we actually, like, if we have to pick up dog shit, like, we'll do it. Like, we don't care.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't,
like, we're digging
we're
in.
not like, oh my God, my nails, my hair, like,
like
hat, ponytail, no makeup, like,
let's, don't you feel so good, you know, doing
and that? To me, like, doing that and at the same time breaking that stereotype, like men that look at my page and like, oh, you guys are all like so beautiful and you help
so
the community
real.
and blah blah blah, and I'm like, yes, like this should be normal. I feel, you know.
Well,
but
you're
it's
helping
not.
making it normal by putting that in, using your social media influence to show what you're doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times people don't let their good works be known because they want to be humble or whatever the reason is. But I'm always saying you have to make your good works known because it's contagious.
Yeah.
You know, and then people want to do more and help more. And look, a woman actually did her entire wedding to be just like you. So, you know, like if she goes out and helps the homeless and animals, I mean, you've now created another person that's going out there and doing that.
That's true.
So it's called Miami Model Citizens.
Yeah,
it's
and
your
it's
nonprofit.
just to be role models. It's not so much like being like models. It's just
more
of the role models.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
Honestly,
Model citizen,
we have a lot of girls that are teachers and pharmaceutical reps and like just a bunch of different careers. So maybe just a couple that are models actually like work for a living as a model. So it's great to, you know, get with these girls, and they're like part of my family.
Well, I'm adding to that list.
Oh my gosh,
I want to come with you on the next one you do. I'm so glad you're local.
Yes.
I'm so glad that I found you. And again, everyone can find you across all socials as Lisa Morales.
Miss Lisa, M-I-S-S.
Miss Lisa Morales.
It was Lisa Morales was taken, and I was never able to get it. So it's
so
Miss
you're
Lisa Morales.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
okay.
Miss Lisa Morales.
On all socials, even Facebook, Miss Lisa Morales.
M-I-S-S Lisa Morales. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this wisdom that now I'm going to take and utilize and check back in with you.
Yes, yeah.
And so, you know, I can say, how am I doing? And coach me a little bit.
Of course. I'm here for you.
And then when you get your whole program into an actual product that people can buy, I can be your you know, the guinea pig.
I like that.
And I'll say yes.
And test it with you.
Yes, and I'll be like, your testimonial, this chick knows what she's talking about. Although I can already tell you without ever having done any of this, that I know that you know what you're doing. So
thank you for having me, and of
course, I really appreciate you sharing with the audience.
Absolutely.
Of these awesome women that watch the show, and sometimes the men watch because they want the pointers.
Oh, okay.
Especially when we talk about relationships, the men secretly watch, and you know, and then I'll get the DM, and they're like, oh, that really helped me, and then I'm like, wow, but men actually watch
great.
too.
Honestly, if you're a man and you're watching this, like,
props,
Props
right?
to you, because that means that you care about the woman you're with or the girl you're trying to get, or and you're like writing down these tips and from women that are married. And so yeah, props to you if you're watching.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and thanks for watching and tuning in to Women in Power, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.